For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sari Heidenreich. I'm the North American Regional Coordinator for URI, based in Virginia, but serving URI members across the US and Canada. And just so honored to be here with all of you today. We are really glad to be having this end of year call to reflect back on the year that has gone by and to look ahead towards 2018. And we're going to do a bit of centering today in what we talk about, but we're going to invite Artie to center us for a few minutes here to bring ourselves fully into this place before we jump into things. And Artie is the chair of our North America Leadership Council. Artie, I hand it to you.
Thank you. What I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to put down your pens and your phones, except for the ones that are on it, and put both feet flat on the floor. I want you to relax your shoulders and take a deep breath. We breathe this air together. We are one in this moment. I want you to envision the most beautiful box that you could ever imagine. Now I want you to envision opening it, however. And in this beautiful box, place all the concerns that you carry. Just place it in there. We're not going to get rid of it. We're just going to hold it there for a moment. Very gently close the lid on your concerns and put them aside. Because we are in this moment together. As we breathe together and we're one together. In the fullness of all that we are, we celebrate. You are blessed and we are blessed to be together. And so it is. Amen.
So it is. Thank you, Artie. Beautiful. So just to give you an idea of what we're going to do in this call today before we jump right in, are grateful to have with us here Victor Kazanjian, who is URI's Executive Director, and we're going to start off with a short update from him about looking back for the global URI community in 2017 and a preview of a few things that are ahead in 2018. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of that information specifically for URI and our members here in the US and Canada. And then we're going to jump right in to conversations with each other. This fabulous technology lets us do something called breakout rooms, where we're able to, like we might in real life, go into breakout groups and have discussions with each other. And we're going to do that here with this wonderful technology. And we're going to talk together about what are some of our reflections for 2017 and our hopes and expectations for 2018. And then we're going to come back to a full circle, and we won't do a full share back, but there'll be a prompt question for folks who have something burning that they want to share, and a time for short, brief sharings to the whole group. And then we'll talk about ways to continue to stay engaged with URI, and then we will close. And the Zoom room will remain open if folks want to continue chatting outside of our structured time. This virtual space will stay open for that. Really grateful to have you here and see so many URI circles represented among all the different faces. I think we've got at least a dozen different circles here represented, probably closer to 2 as more faces keep popping on. I'm losing count. But this is what the URI family is all about. It's about connecting to the work of people all over the world, and in this case, you know, we're kind of keeping it contained on the continent here, but really to encourage each other and connect to resources and each other to really build our capacity and build this work as a movement. And so I'm going to hand it over to Victor now to share a bit.
Thank you, Sari, and thank you, Artie, for your beautiful opening, and greetings all. It's lovely to be with you. We have, in this last year, introduced this Zoom technology, this video conferencing, which for those of you that are on your computers, it's wonderful to see you, and those of you on your phones, so glad you could connect in by voice as well. it has been a way of connecting, and many of you have been using this perhaps before this year, but also with URI this year. And in as much as URI is about relationship, about connection, about the ways in which we are with each other and support and sustain each other, this is another tool that's really welcome to bring people face to face and in a better space of connection. So that's been really.
Some of the bullet points in their head.
So I'm gonna
on the same wavelength.
Yes.
we're gonna. There we go. We're
And
learning.
I'll just pop in to do a tech note, which is that if you potentially have any background noise, feel free to mute yourself. That'll be using a button in the bottom left on your computer screen. And I'll try to mute you if you're unable to do that. But that's just a way for the audio clarity to come through. Back to you, Victor.
Thanks, Sarah. So Sarah asked me to bring a little bit of the URI Global network to you and just to kind of situate this conversation of these extraordinary circles in North America within the larger URI network of 894 cooperation circles in 102 countries now, which is kind of breathtaking. I think particularly for those of you, Kay and others who were here at the beginning, to think about the growth of the network, the ways in which URI has continued to evolve is quite stunning. And I have the joy of being able to travel the world a lot and to be in spaces with circles, learning from them and gaining wisdom and offering support. And it's extraordinary to really move within that global network of people who are engaging this extraordinary work of daily interfaith cooperation and ending religiously motivated violence and building cultures of peace, justice, and healing. And that work is extraordinary. We recently gathered as a global leadership, that's the global trustees of URI who are elected by cooperation circles to represent URI and to govern URI. URI is governed by a grassroots group of folk. And our staff from all over the world. We gathered in Bosnia together, over 100 of us, and really spent that time looking at envisioning the next chapter for URI, looking at this work that has been done over the last almost 2 decades of beautiful nurturing and growing of this global movement and where we're heading and where we want to head. And we did quite a bit of work on strategic planning, and I'm going to put up something for those of you that can see, but I'll speak it for those of you that are not on video, just so you get a little sense of the world of what we've been talking about for URI. In the theme of deepening and growing, so continuing to put down deep roots as we also extend ourselves out and wide. The Global Council, working with our regions and our cooperation circles, has identified 4 main areas that we want to focus our work on: growth and impact, capacity building and leadership, global connection and visibility, and organizational sustainability. And keep in mind, the global URI and our regional offices are a support system for you, for cooperation circles. That's the reason why we exist. We don't kind of dictate out what should be happening in the world. We support your vision and cooperation circles around the world in reaching your dreams. And so these goals are really about how do we sustain and support cooperation circles globally. A couple of interesting areas, and we have begun our process of engaging this strategic plan, which is not a strategic planning document that will sit on a shelf somewhere and gain dust, but rather a living document that will continue to evolve and grow. But in the first area of increasing growth and illustrating our on-the-ground impact, we're exploring more deeply what it means, what growth means for URI. Growth in not just in quantity, but in quality, in depth as well as breadth, and how do we sustain and support existing cooperation circles as we also welcome new cooperation circles in, and we're doing a kind of global growth analysis on that. We also have kicked off a project where we are working with cooperation circles around the world to look at how we can help cooperation circles to think about their impact and to gather data on their impact, not as a kind of typical development agency experts coming in and analyzing the work, but rather how can cooperation circles themselves get the information they need to learn and adapt, to grow and change, which is what Principle 19 means for URI. The second one is capacity building and leadership, and we've been involved in a leadership training program that happens through our regional assemblies. You all have just had several where people share skills with each other and best practices and support each other. And those are happening all over the world. And we are engaging, we have several kind of signature training programs, the Traveling Peace Academy and our YLP Youth Leadership Program. But we're adding another called the Ripple Academy, which is focused on women's leadership and helping women to grow their projects in cooperation circles by providing a training program that is just evolving at this point with a partnership with an organization called the Women's Earth Alliance, which is a wonderful global organization based here in Berkeley. The third area is global connection, and you, in addition to Zoom, you may have seen our new website. If you haven't, go to it. It's exciting, it's more interactive, it's more visible and visual. And that links to something you won't see, but is right there behind it, which is a whole new database system that allows us to collect all the information about URI and share it with others. And finally, our regular publications like the URI, YOUAREI, which is a newsletter that goes out virtually, which is about promoting cooperation circle stories, about sharing the stories of cooperation circles with the whole world. And then finally, something I'm spending a lot of my time on is looking at organizational sustainability and ensuring URI's long-term sustainability. And we are in the midst of the silent phase of a campaign where we will be raising a core endowment. We are expanding and deepening our fundraising programs nationally and internationally. We're doing this in concert with regions so that we're also supporting regional fundraising and efforts, but we want to be able to provide the essential funds for regions to support their cooperation circles. So that's a little taste of what we've been doing in the strategic planning area. I'll just mention, one other thing, that the work in North America has been something that is really extraordinary to behold. Mm-hmm. And that is because of all of you, and that is because of Artie and Sari and the board, and all the work that's been happening through the leadership. I think for Artie and Ed and Fred and others who have been so deeply involved in this, watching North America unfold in this last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. Sari, how long have you been here now?
It was 3 years in October.
Oh my goodness. I've been here 4, and Sari came about a year after. So the 3 years that Sari has been here has been extraordinary. And it's just been a beautiful thing to watch. As all of you know, interfaith in North America can be tough. It can be tough. Yeah, well, Sarah, help us with that. Thank you. It can be tough because people don't always understand the urgency of interfaith. In places where there is warfare and where the violence is more visible, I think the interfaith work, in some sense, takes on a greater sense of urgency. And I've worked for almost 30 years with interfaith in North America. And it's always been a struggle to try to really help people to see why the building of cohesive, diverse community is essential in a North American context as well as in a global context. Well, the visible violence is now very clear in North America. And in addition to the structural violence, which we know is always an issue of poverty and inequality, we are now so clear that the visible violence that faces us and the forces that would separate and divide us are as urgent and powerful here in a North American context as they are anywhere. So I just think that it is such an essential time for that statement in the preamble of URI, which is this kind of mantra that comes over and over. We unite. We unite. We unite for global healing. We unite for nonviolence. We unite for the earth. The unity called for in the preamble, purpose, and principles of URI is as important right now as it ever has been in world history. So I think it is an honor for me to sit in this circle of squares, for those of you watching, and to be part of this extraordinary global movement, which is ours to steward for a time. And so I feel very blessed, and thank you for doing the work you do, because it's your work that inspires us, and hopefully our support that helps make your work happen. So thanks.
Thanks, Victor. And as we think about the global context in which all of us exist with our brothers and sisters in countries around the world, it's my immense pleasure to serve specifically URI members who operate in the US and Canada. And as Victor mentioned, I've been here about 3 years now, and in the core part of my job is to support you. And that happens in a lot of different ways. And we have a support system called the Leadership Council for URI North America, which we have several members here. Artie, Fred, and Valeria, I believe, are all here, as well as some previous members who are working around the call as well. And these are people who give of their time. We're not paid staff of URI, but give of their time and their wisdom to support cooperation circles and URI North America affiliates around the region. And it's been our pleasure to serve you for many years and for this past year. And just to kind of give you a snippet, some people here who are on this call, we were together in Florida a couple of weeks ago. I guess it's about a month now. If you were there in Florida, raise your hand, give a wave, give a little hoot, a little holler. URI circles and affiliates from the Southeast United States gathered in Florida to share with each other about the work we're doing and to collectively explore questions around what we might be doing and hurdles that we want to leap over together. We also gathered in Vancouver. A couple of us here were in Vancouver together. Give us a wave if you're in Vancouver for the Salish Sea Bioregional Gathering, where we really focused on what the interfaith resources in that bioregion could bring to bear on the environmental crisis facing that whole ecosystem surrounding the Salish Sea, which is Vancouver and Seattle area. We did both of those things with back-to-back weekends and just had an incredible time, and you'll be seeing more reports from that in the coming weeks. We also had the chance to connect with many of you at the North America Interfaith Network Conference in San Diego in August. If you were there, give a wave. I see a couple of folks here who were there. Again, with this, you'll get the sense here that all of this is about points of connection. Where can we connect to each other and draw energy and wisdom from each other? Some of that happened on the road. See, if you got a visit from me or someone on the North America leadership team in 2017, give a wave. I see a couple people here whose houses I stayed in, who graciously hosted us. This is the URI way. We do things on a budget and very relationally, so I will sleep on your couch if you will have me in your home. And I had the chance to do some of those visits with our regional coordinator from Australia. She came and we were doing a staff exchange to sharpen each other's skills about how to really support the URI network, and that trip was in the Northeast United States. We went from Philadelphia to Concord, New Hampshire, and several places in between. And then in August, I also did a trip in Southern California to visit cooperation circles in that area, and went all the way as north as Santa Barbara. We've also been doing connections via Zoom, so calls like this where we get together. This is kind of not a random call, but it's not a regular thing that we do with this size of people. But there's a group of people, a couple of groups of people that meet regularly via Zoom. If you meet regularly with a URI group via Zoom, give a wave. There is a group of folks who meet to discuss environmental issues, so people who are doing work at the intersection of interfaith and the environment, whether that's the focus of their entire organization or a personal passion. If they're connected to URI in some way and passionate about the environment and live in this region, we gather for calls. If you're interested in that and not a part of those calls, send a note in the chat box and we'll be sure to get you on that distribution list. And then we've also been trying a pilot of another model where we've actually had kind of a closed group of people, about 10 people, 6 to 10 people who meet regularly, that same group of people. And they do assignments, they have pairings in between calls, and we gather for a larger call. And we've really been experimenting with how to do deep dives in learning and relationship building over Zoom. And we're excited in 2018 to see what the next step of that might be, whether it might be expansion or multiplication or what it will be. We're excited for that. Another thing that we've done, or that you all did really together, was the coordination with the United Nations Interfaith World Interfaith Harmony Week and International Day of Peace. One's in February, one's in September. If you participated in either of those, give a little wave to the camera here. Those are days celebrated by hundreds of thousands of people around the world that we have the honor of participating in and supporting each other as we participate in them. And we do many things on different days and different times throughout the year, and it's fun to have that time of cohesion when we're all doing something around about the same time. As Victor mentioned, there was an exciting rollout of a new website this past year for URI globally. And I would encourage you, if you haven't checked it out, each cooperation circle has a beautiful, pristine profile on that page. You had profiles on our old website, but they did not look nearly as good. And we will willingly admit that. But now you have new profiles on URI.org. Head to the website, see if you can find them. If you can't, let us know. We're testing out how user-friendly this is. It can be used from your mobile device or from your computer screen. You can even add it to your home page on your phone by clicking Add to Home Screen. That way it reminds you to check out stories from URI throughout the week. And check your profile there. We have both your name and your purpose, as well as photos of your work. And if you want any of that updated, that can be done very easily because of this new database system that we've put in place. And so if you notice anything that you want changed there, let us know. And check out a few other sister cooperation circles that are on that site while you're there. You could also check out the resource library, which is new and improved thanks to hours put in by our global programs team of looking through our resources and making sure that it's really the best ones that are on there and that they're organized and tagged and categorized in the best way possible. And we're really grateful for that and hope that the reorganization of that library will enable it to be used much more frequently by you all. You'll also want to check out the blog. That's a place where any URM members can share stories and get inspired by what's happening from URM members around the world, and also maybe think about if you would like to post something there. That is your space. It is not something you have to submit to or beg and plead with us to put you up there. That's something that we really love to have be a part of our communications. There's so much more that happened in 2017 for URI North America, and when we jump into our small groups, we're going to hear about what happened in each of your circles, because like Victor said, what you all have been doing really is the heart and soul of URI, and all of these things that I just described are things that we try to do to support you, and we try to listen to the requests that we get from circles about what types of things we could do, and then